Two incomes should mean twice the freedom, right? So why do so many families making good money, sometimes really good money, still feel broke? Why does it feel like no matter how much comes in, it disappears just as fast? And why does losing just one paycheck suddenly feel like financial disaster? Here's the uncomfortable truth. For millions of families, the second income didn't create security. It created a trap. For decades, the two-income household has been sold as the dream, progress, partnership, a smarter way to live. Two careers, two paychecks, and supposedly a faster path to comfort and stability. The math seems obvious. If one income works, two must be better. But something strange has happened. Instead of giving families breathing room, two incomes have quietly become required just to survive. And that's what people call the two-income trap. Because the second paycheck doesn't stay extra for very long, it gets absorbed fast. Think about what happens when a couple starts earning more money. They don't usually stash the second salary away untouched. Life expands to match it. The apartment becomes a house. The old car becomes two newer ones. The cheaper neighborhood becomes the better school district. Convenience replaces time. None of this feels extravagant. It feels reasonable, responsible even. You're not chasing luxury. You're chasing safety and opportunity for your family. But slowly, almost invisibly, your expenses rise until they match your income. And the place where this happens most aggressively is housing. Picture this. A couple earning one salary might qualify for a modest home. But once both partners work, the bank suddenly says, "Congratulations, you can afford a much bigger mortgage." And that bigger number feels like an opportunity. More space, safer streets, better schools for the kids. So you stretch. Not for a mansion, just for something decent. But here's the catch nobody talks about. That mortgage isn't affordable on one income anymore. It requires both, every single month. Which means the second paycheck isn't building wealth. It's already spoken for. It's committed before it even arrives. The house doesn't give you freedom. It locks you in. And the same thing starts happening everywhere else. Two jobs usually mean two commutes, which means two cars, two insurance payments, double the gas, double the maintenance. Then there's the cost of time. When both adults are working full-time, nobody has energy left, so you start outsourcing life. Takeout instead of cooking, delivery instead of errands, cleaning services, lawn care, after-school programs, not because you're lazy, because you're exhausted. Time becomes more valuable than money, so money quietly slips away in dozens of small ways. And then comes the biggest expense of all, childcare. For families with young kids, this is where the numbers start to feel absurd. In many places, daycare costs as much as a second rent or mortgage, sometimes thousands of dollars a month per child. Parents do the math and realize something shocking. After taxes and childcare, one entire salary almost disappears. They're working full-time just to pay someone else so they can keep working. It starts to feel circular. You work to afford childcare, and you need childcare to work. It's like running on a treadmill that never moves. So why not just have one parent stay home? Because that comes with its own risks. Lost career growth, lost retirement savings, harder re-entry later, financial dependence. So most families feel stuck. Either choice feels dangerous. That's the trap. And here's something even more surprising. The old single-income model had a hidden advantage that we rarely talk about, a backup plan. If the main earner lost their job, the other parent could step into the workforce. It wasn't ideal, but it was a safety net. Now, both adults are already working full-time. There's no backup, no reserve. So when one income disappears, it's not a setback, it's a crisis. Because the bills didn't shrink. The mortgage didn't shrink.
Childcare didn't shrink. Everything still demands two incomes. So one layoff, one illness, or one burnout can send the whole system crashing down. That's not security. That's fragility. And it gets worse, because this isn't just happening to one family, it's happening to everyone at the same time. When most households have two incomes, prices adjust upward. Homes cost more because sellers know buyers have two salaries. Services cost more because families have money but no time. Everything gets priced for dual earners. So even if you want to live on one income, it becomes almost impossible. The market assumes both adults are working, so you're pushed into the same race as everyone else. It's like the whole middle class got a raise, and then everything immediately doubled in price. Nobody actually moves ahead. We just run faster to stay in the same place. And maybe the heaviest cost isn't even financial, it's psychological. Because when both incomes are absolutely required, you lose flexibility. You can't quit a job you hate. You can't take risks. You can't slow down. You can't take time off to recover. Every decision is ruled by fear. What if we lose the paycheck? So people stay burned out, stressed, overworked, not building dreams, just maintaining survival, working constantly just to keep the machine running. And that's the great irony. We chased two incomes for freedom, but for many families, it delivered the opposite. Less time, less flexibility, more stress, more risk. So what's the real lesson? It's not that two incomes are bad. It's not about going backward. It's about understanding that security isn't just about how much you earn. It's about how much breathing room you keep. Lower fixed costs, more flexibility, more margin for error. Because true wealth isn't a giant paycheck. It's knowing that if one paycheck disappeared tomorrow, your life wouldn't collapse. That's real stability. That's real freedom. And maybe the goal isn't to earn as much as possible. Maybe the goal is to need less so you can live more. If this made you think differently about money and work, share your thoughts below. Have you ever felt stuck in the two-income trap or found a way around it? Let's talk about it, and I'll see you in the next video.